Blog Talk Radio.
right. Boy, that's classic. I haven't played that in a long time. It's still going too, as a matter of fact. Let me shut it down here. Yeah, that's the ending there, heaven or hell. Oh, yeah. Don't tread on me before that. But anyway, Joseph Gibson here podcasting during our Republic, I guess Blog Talk Radio has finally got their act together here. And if anybody's been paying attention, or I've been all over the news here in North Carolina, so I guess I'm going to be like on the Trump train, I guess, and same thing. I guess I don't know how the Supreme Court decision is, or what's going to happen to this ballot stuff. I don't know what's going to happen. But if any of you don't know what's going on, let me explain to you briefly so you can understand. All you got to do is Google my name in North Carolina, and you'll read every freaking news report there is that they've pretty much dug up every single thing they can possibly think of and put their speculation onto it, and did what a lot of news media does best, and that's speculate and not report on the facts. And I gave probably 4 different interviews tonight already, and I'm just about tired of talking about it. So, but I of course wanted to talk to my listeners and people there out in the podcast world, and people who know my past and who know my story and know what I've done and what I've been through. They're of course, I'm waiting still for a media outlet to tell the truth and to give me a fair shake. Will that happen? I doubt it. I don't know. But I spoke to a couple reporters tonight, and we'll see what happens. But anyway, this is what's going on. We have Diane Parnell from Rockingham County. She's a rhino. Okay, beach house on the coast of North Carolina. Never works. Don't know, and it doesn't know anything about work. Doesn't know anything about policy or government. Not a patriot. Not a patriot. Okay, one of your Republican rhinos. And she's in charge of the district here, or the Republican headquarters here in Rockingham County. And she, a couple years ago, contacted me when I first ran and said, well, there's rumor that, you might have a record. Ooh, you bad boy. That says you might have a record. Okay, first of all, there's rumor. First of all, let me explain this to you. Whatever happened or transpired 32 years ago, pick up a copy of the book. It's on Amazon. It's called Behind the Walls by Joel Hodden. All right? Other than that, it's none of your business. I'm here running as North Carolina running for the position of North Carolina House of Representatives to represent the people and restore the republic and restore lawful government and clean the corruption up, because we don't have much time left in this country. This country is falling apart at the seams, and we are in bad shape. And those of you who know I'm talking a little bit funny, it's because I'm still sick. I've had this respiratory illness since Christmas. It really put me down. I've never, I don't think I remember being this sick in my life. So I'm a pretty healthy person. I work out at the gym. I'm in good shape, and I've never, ever really get this sick. So, but anyway, and who knows? They could have mailed me a letter and whacked me, tried to whack me that way. Who knows? You never know. You never know. So, but anyway, I've been very, 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 very sick. I lost my voice several times already. So if I'm talking funny, that's why. Or sound funny. Well, anyway, I got contacted by the County Board of Elections last week, December 23rd. And they said there's been a challenge to you for your candidacy here. There's been a challenge, and we'll let you know when the hearing will be. We'll notify you, because they have to send out notice for you to get. Well, they never sent me out notice for the hearing. They decided to have the hearing yesterday without me being present. And Diane Parnell brings in a copy of some record from the state of Connecticut that says I'm a convicted felon, and therefore from 32 years ago, and so therefore I have no right to run for public office in North Carolina. Matter of fact, I'm not a citizen. I'm not a citizen anymore, But basically, that's what she's saying. I'm not a citizen. I have no say anymore. And then goes on, I'm just a dumb slave, and I need to obey. I don't even have a right to vote, according to her. Media now has got. I'm surprised they didn't link me with January 6th somehow. I'm surprised they didn't do that. I know they're looking. But I was home, people. I didn't go. Sorry to disappoint you. I didn't go. I stayed home. So can't get me on that one. But I'm sure they're trying. Excuse me. So as it stands right now, the county board of elections in Rockingham County voted unanimously. I don't qualify to hold office or run for a public office, so therefore my name should be removed from the ballot. And right now it's in the appeal stages. Of course, now I'm going to appeal it. I'm going to have my say, and I'm going to quote the law and the facts and give them a copy of my real record, which I done, and I filed today, and I sent it to the State Board of Elections. So therefore, this issue will probably be overturned, and then I'll be suing Diana Parnell, and I don't know how she obtains certain information that she's done, or she's made some silly allegations, but she's also uncovered things that disclosure agreements were signed, and you cannot discuss high security information and put it out there and put me in danger. Okay, and some of you out there know some of my past and know that I worked for the government many years ago, and I survived 2 murder attempts in my life when I worked for the government. And so those of you who don't know what I'm talking about or anything, you're welcome to call in or ask questions. That's fine. I just don't want to tell the whole story from beginning to from point A to point B to C, D, E, and then you have to go over everything all over again. But those of you who have got questions, I don't mind answering questions. And people calling and asking questions. 657-383-0616. Press number 1, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. But apparently, I'm going to be in the same boat as Donald Trump. I'll be challenged, and we'll see what happens. I don't know how his Supreme Court case will affect my. I just don't know how this candidate challenge thing goes. I think it's a waste. I think it's a total waste of time. I think all it does is it gives people an opportunity to gridlock the system and constantly clog up the system and take away from the issues at hand. And what it's doing is harming the American people. It's harming the American people, and it's harming our system because we have a lot of things that need to be fixed. We don't need to be worried about what Joe Gibson did 32 years ago. Okay? We just don't need to worry about stuff like that. We don't need to be attacking each other's character and ripping each other apart and tearing each other down. And this is what they do. And this is the political game. And we all know that. That's what they do. Look at the presidential elections. This is what they do. And it's just stupid. It's just idiotic. And it's just waste of time. Resources, valuable time. You need to knock it off. You really need to knock it off. We need to get our act together. We need to get our act together during our republic. Yeah, let's see here in the chat room there what's going on here. We have a few people in the chat room here. They come and go, and their icons are green. So not many people know I was doing a show here tonight. So I decided to put this on, just record it anyway. What the heck, why not? And because Blog Talk Radio was really working, I guess it is now. So, and it was other people were doing shows. But see, this Blog Talk thing is another thing. Look, man, we're all out here talking and talking and talking. We've got to do activism. We've got to start getting things done. We've got to start doing what we're supposed to do as Americans. We have to start getting involved, and involved the right way. Oh, what is your show about? You got to listen, Clark. You got to listen to it. It's called Restoring the Republic. I know there's another Patriot show on right now. I'm going to click over and see what the heck's going on with that show real quick. See what they're all about. because my usual listeners, they've all disappeared. I don't know where they are. Sarge, Bianchi, all these guys, all these people, they just disappear. I don't know where the heck they are. You know, I mean, it's just let me see here. Hang on here. What, Patriot Nation? Is that it? Is that the name of the podcast show? Let me see here. They're still on or not? Yeah, here we are. Live shows. Patriot? No. It's not on. It's not on anymore. It was on. I remember. See, that's what I'm saying. These shows just pop and they come and go. They come and go. How many years has my show been up here? Same thing. My show. You know? But all these other podcast shows, they just come and go. We got live shows on right now. You know, what's you know, it's really something alive. Let's see who's live right now. Yeah. January 4th, it's all about a lot of these shows. I mean, I just don't even get a lot of them, really. So anyway, 657-383-0616, press number 1. I'm losing my voice here and there. I mean, all these other shows, too. I really got to stop calling in and contributing, too, because the deal was we were supposed to be helping each other out, promoting our shows, and nobody's doing that. We're all doing our own little thing. And we're not going to accomplish nothing. Nothing. We've got to stop. I just don't know what else to do to get this to the head of the people, the heads of everybody, so they understand what's going on here. Now I can't even get back to my studio. I can't even get back to my studio now. Oh, come on. Settings, create. I can't even get to my studio now. This is ridiculous. Blog Talk Radio is not 100% fixed. Come on. Unreal. I can't even get into my studio. There it is. Here's where I can go to my settings and do this. Jeez, I won't do that again. Now it's disconnected my chat room and everything. Redo the chat back up. All right, give me a couple minutes here. I gotta catch my voice and see if I can get a couple people come on here and have a discussion here real quick. I just see what the heck's going on out there. I get these people on here and to have a little discussion about a couple things that are happening. There's American Statesman finally in the chat room. There was a couple people trickling in. American Statesman, we have to talk. Yeah, I don't know if you heard what's happening to me here in North Carolina. I'm public enemy number 1. I'm all over the news media. News reports, all what they're doing last night, today. American Statesman. Yeah, hello, American Statesman. Can you hear me okay? Yeah, did you hear what I said? Yeah, they're trying to get me off the ballot like Trump, I guess. And, yeah. Oh, yeah, well. They're trying to get me removed off the ballot here in North Carolina and saying I don't qualify. And I don't qualify to hold positions here in North Carolina because I have a record from 32 years ago. Can you believe that? Yeah, they're twisting my past up. I don't know how much you know about my past or what I did when I worked for the government and stuff. But it's all over the news media here. I mean, all you got to do is Google my name here in North Carolina. Just Google Joseph Gibson from North Carolina. You'll see all the news stories popping up. I mean, it's insane. I mean, it's just insane how we are so much. Okay, give you about 5 minutes. I'll call in. Okay, that's good. Give me a chance to clear my voice. Okay, I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm gonna play something there real quick then, so I can get something to drink, and then I'll. Good, American Statesman's going to call in. We can have a conversation then. I'll see if I can get a couple others connected. You know, when I want people to call in, they don't call in. When I have something going on, I got 20 people on the line, and everybody's arguing, talking over each other. And we get that mess going, yelling over each other, you know. That I can't stand. With all that yelling over each other. Rah, you know, nothing can get accomplished. Nothing. It's just insane. What do you say? Yeah. 2024's judgment, yeah. 2024's judgment. This is it. I mean, I'll tell you what. If they kick me off the ballot and say I don't have any right to even vote, I don't know. What's America got for me? Nothing. You know, my republic's dead and gone. You know, I don't know, how do you fight then? What do you do when they silence you like this? Anyway, I'll be back in like 4 minutes here. And then American Statesman said she's going to call in. So 4 minutes. Let me clear them up and get something to drink. And everybody else that's listening, appreciate it. 657-383-0616. Press the number 1 and get on here, please.
Side.
there we have it. Okay, there, a little Skid Row, because that's what we're on here, Skid Row. Yeah, they posted the articles there. A couple of people, thank you, appreciate that. My Fox News there, yep, posted some of the articles there inside the chat room there. But yeah, what's your opinion there, American Statesman? I think that might be you popping up on the line there now. I'll wait till you hit the number 1, of course, because I know you're not ready. Maybe you're not ready. I don't know. And we'll bring you on here, or anyone else here who wants to connect and converse here. Let's see. There we go. All right, she hit the number 1. Let's bring her on. Go ahead, American Statesman there, and I guess you're going to be doing your show now finally again. Let's see here. You should be connected.
Yeah. Well, and actually, I think it came back on the 20th. I think halfway through the other show, it came back on Blog Talk. But I never got anything from Blog Talk Radio explaining their mess and everything else. So I need to obviously have a backup plan and have another option besides Blog Talk. So I may do the Zoom thing too. I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I thought that Zoom thing worked out pretty good, but that night we did it. We had a full house, that's for sure. You know.
Yeah.
Well, what's your thoughts here on what you've read so far? What do you think? Kind of like attacking me, kind of like Donald Trump in a way, huh?
It's just so insane. It's just we can't have an honest election. We can't have the people's choice anymore. There's just so many games going on with these elections, and it's just so disgusting. It's like, and if the real patriots, the real Americans, don't stand up and take a stand on this stuff, it's really over. 2024 is the ultimate judgment year. Of course, election 2024, the main judgment day, if we survive that long. I mean, look, because just like you said, what they're doing to Trump, it doesn't matter. They will do anything to shut down those of us that believe in freedom and believe in the Constitution and believe in a sovereign nation. And we've got an awful lot of people with a lot of money, like the Soros and the World Economic Forum morons and stuff like that, out there working against us. And these other people, when the culture declines to such a point, these people have no values. They have no. You're really fighting an uphill battle to take back any kind of ethics or integrity when these people will sell out their soul for a dime. And just like, I mean, how many people are talking coming over the border who are saying, yes, I'm going to vote for Biden. He gave me a chance. He's letting me in. Isn't that bribery?
Yep. They can vote. They can vote, right? They can vote, but I can't vote. It's against the law for me to vote. Yeah. But they can vote. Isn't that disgusting?
Well, you were voting all along, right? Aren't you a registered voter in there? They didn't stop you from voting, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, they're saying I broke the law. Yeah, I may have broken the law, they say now. Yeah. I may be prosecuted for this. That's what they're saying, yeah. Bring it. I say bring it. Yeah. Isn't that something?
It amounts. It's really, I'll call it the equivalent, or comparing it to calling Jan 6 an insurrection while people burning up all the cities and everything else, the Black Lives Matter stuff, and that was okay. I mean, that's the insanity of it all. It just depends on what side you're sitting on, and right now, unfortunately, we got
a little gunslinger in the chat.
There.
Yeah, and listen to this. The thing of it is, right, is they're saying my rights have to be restored. What do you mean my rights have to be restored? My rights are guaranteed by God. By God. I'm endowed by my Creator. What are you talking about? 32 years ago, you're telling me, come on.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I mean, when you were released from jail or whatever, that was when it was all over, right? I thought that's when it's one thing if you're on probation, but you're not on probation. Yep. So it'd be one thing if you were on some kind of probation and you were technically not free yet. But once you're free, I don't see it. It doesn't make any sense, especially with all the other stuff that was going on with you in that situation. Because I do remember you talking about that before. It's like, it's just insane. It's so insane. We are in such trouble. We really, truly are.
Yeah.
So where's state of affairs?
Yeah, you don't mention nothing about that. I did 4 interviews tonight. 4 interviews with the media, and they and a couple of them were interested. They weren't really too interested in the fact that I helped, stop crime. They weren't interested in the fact that I helped clean fentanyl off the streets of my county. They weren't interested in that. You know.
Well, I noticed on this one article I was just looking at. This is the News and Record or whatever one. It says Gibson further alleges in the suit in the September 15, 1990, he was assaulted in prison. I mean, you keep saying you allege, like you can't prove what happened. This is the other part. It bugs me. Yeah.
I allege. With the scar around my neck, a half inch deep, 6.5 inches long, almost chopped my head off. I alleged. I cut myself shaving. You know.
I was going to say, what would be good is for you to send the email to this reporter with all, because it is S. Spear is his name, it looks like. Whatever it is, something Steve Spear, whoever, something. Spear, who did this, send him an email with the photos and the medical records. You're not alleging anything. It's called telling the truth.
Yes. There you go. I like that. It's not. That's going to be one of my new sayings now. Not alleged. Nothing is being alleged. I tell the truth. You know, we can all allege a lot of things, but I speak the truth. You know, it's despicable. It's despicable what they're doing. I mean, they have a hearing, Sally, without me being present. I wasn't even present.
It's insane. And the other, now, it says something that you have until Monday to file an appeal or something. So you got to file
I filed
some
it
kind of
today.
appeal?
I filed it today.
Okay.
Yeah, and I sent in a copy of my real background check that was done by the Private Protective Security Board here, Services Board here, Public Safety in North Carolina. So if they don't believe them, then I don't, you know.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
if you have any information, if you want to forward me any of that other information, I can send it out to some people, and then we can start blasting this particular reporter with the facts, or say, please report the facts type thing, and pound on them for not telling the whole truth, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if they would report the whole truth.
Yeah. See, I asked this question though. When we have people in this country, do you realize how many people have been charged with a crime, supposedly, or these nonviolent offenders out there, or everybody has some sort of record, some kind of record. Somebody does, or somewhere, somehow. Yeah, the FBI has a file on everybody. So it's the bottom line is, what are they trying to say? I thought America was the land of second chance. These illegals can come across the border. That's kind of the point too. Just tell them you're illegal and you'll be able to run. It's like the illegals don't have to follow any of the laws. Tell them you're illegal and would that qualify you? I mean, because it's so insane. And they say with all the stupid laws that we have across the board anyway, they say every one of us breaks some law every single day just by breathing, just about. But it's insane. But the whole point is you are not in jail. You weren't violating any kind of court order or anything else, and your rights were restored when you were released. So it's just all insane. And so we've got to see what we can do to try to correct that one. And you said you thought you had some ideas of what we should do or could do. Well, yeah. Well, I have a document here signed actually by a district court judge in Rockingham County that says my rights were restored, because I foresaw. See, I'm always a step ahead of people. I remember I worked for the government undercover. I'm trained in knowing how. Remember, there's one rule that I was taught by somebody, and it's a very good rule to live by. The government, when you go up against the government, their very own exhibits and documents will always prove in the end that they are wrong, because they'll be caught in a lie when you're innocent. Right. When they're trying to set you up, you'll find the evidence to free yourself in their exhibits, documents, and papers. And that's the truth. If you analyze that and sit back and listen to what I'm saying, because they're always trying to set people up and jam them up through their own paper and codes and statutes and rules and regulations, but it's tyranny, and tyranny can't win. It always trips over itself. It can never. It's darkness, and there's no room for darkness in a room full of light. So they can't win. So anyway, I have this document that says all my rights were restored.
Well, that was the other thing too. I think think it was Washington who said something to the effect, maybe not the exact quote, is the truth will prevail if the pains are taken to find it, to identify it, to prove it.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. And they'll do everything they can to railroad you and block the truth. But let me ask you another question. What about the Republican Party of North Carolina or the RNC? No, the RNC probably isn't going to do much, but what about your Republican Party, your Republican Executive Committee right there in town and whatever? What's their stand on all this?
This is the catch. Diane Parnell, she is the Republican who brought these charges up against me because I'm going against their casino issue. They want a casino in my county, and the people don't want it, and I'm the only candidate that's standing up for the people, saying, no, we don't want it. And so, therefore, they lied to the people. The people, the politicians in my district have been bought and paid for by these real estate developers that have been tearing up our wilderness, destroying our land, and building condos and apartments, and we're just ripping everything up in our district. And people are, we're a community that has a lot of farms. And we like our rural areas. We're a scenic community. We're right near the Blue Ridge Mountains, so we're a scenic community. We like our natural areas. Well, anyway, they promised that they weren't going to put a casino or this gambling issue wasn't going to affect us, and they lied, and they were bought and paid for. That we come to find out money, that they have this dark money that they all have been given to push this this gambling through the legislature and the Senate and get it signed. And to push this casino project, and the people are just outraged over it. And I'm running on the issue that no casino, I don't want it. I don't want it in my community. And this actually would be right down the road from where I live. Actually, if they built the casino, I don't want it. I don't want it. And I agree with the people. It's not going to bring us any type of prosperity whatsoever that we can benefit from in the long run. If you just look at the research of casinos when they're built,
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this, too. Well, of course, this is all just, I don't know when this really, I know you were having some problems to begin with, but I don't know when this really hit the fan. Obviously, this stuff is just being put out there. But have you, who else are you reaching out to? Because, I would suggest you send something to Steve Bannon in the War Room and the even Mike Lindell when it comes to election integrity. He's big on the election stuff, and some others. Who was the other?
Yeah.
John Frederickson, Fredericks. He's got a true conservative talk show. He's out there on the campaign trail all over the place. Send some information to them. Copy me on it if you could, and then I can at least say, yeah, please have them on because we got to stop this kind of stuff. We need true patriots and constitutionalists. So try to reach out to the other media that isn't twisted by what the locals are doing, and then I'll obviously say this is why we have to replace the Republican Party.
Of course, yeah, This is why. Well, they're rhinos. Yeah, these rhinos are terrible. They're sellouts, and the Republican Party is broken, and the conservatives of this country are lost, and they have no backbone or spine, and they don't stand for the Constitution at all. And it's despicable. It's
Charlie
disgusting.
Kirk is another one to contact. Charlie Kirk brings people on all over the place, too. And he actually does read his email. So, try to find the ones that actually – so Charlie Kirk would be another one to reach out to you hit enough of them somewhere along the way, someone's going to take a look. But, again, copy me on some of it, and then I can also – and others that I know, Karen, and then we'll respond saying, yeah, we need to do this and this kind of stuff. We have to stop this kind of nonsense with our elections, and
what they're doing for me, right?
Patriots in there.
What they're doing for me? They're going to hand me this election. That's what's going to end up happening, because the people are going to rally behind me. They've been contacting me all day today, telling me how they feel bad, that the system shouldn't be doing this to me, and it's not like, I'm not out there. I'm not a bank robber. I'm not out there committing crime. For goodness sake, I work for the DEA undercover by, helping clean up drugs in my community. What the hell are you talking about? Cut it out. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Exactly. It's absolutely disgusting and insane. And it's just, and it's all for the wrong. It's not like they're truly trying to protect us. It's all because of politics and playing games, and has nothing to do with any kind of ethics or integrity or true
Sally,
belief in the country. It's all about greed.
Let me bring this issue up, Sally. Let me bring this issue. This. I want you as a patriot to tell me what is wrong with this. This is what I'm about to read to you right now. Okay, this was as quoted by the News and Record. This is what Parnell said Thursday, that members of the state legislature made her aware that they had discovered Gibson's criminal history within a May 28, 2008 civil suit record from the U.S. District Court of Connecticut, prompting her to take action. That information came from the North Carolina General Assembly, Parnell said. They were apparently going through candidates and looking into them, and it popped up. What is the General Assembly doing analyzing the North Carolina citizens and looking into them? What is it, the brown shirts? What are they? What is this, Nazi Germany?
So are they paying that much attention? Are they paying that much attention to their voter rolls and their machines and their tabulators? It's once again it's all part of the establishment. It's the anti-MAGA establishment. It's what it is, and these people will clean together if they're going to be. And again, going back to the developers and the casinos and all that kind of stuff, if they're out there wanting all that stuff, and you're out there risking, threatening with a roadblock to it and to speak up against it, they'll do whatever they have to shut you down. It's the unrestricted war. Yep. I mean, it's an election, but it's really an unrestricted war insanity of what we have going on here. And I swear, I sure hope enough Americans wake up and smell the stuff before it gets too late. I mean, we are getting there. People are waking up. It's like you better not only wake up, you better get out of bed and do something.
Yeah.
You know?
You're absolutely correct. And anyone else wants to jump into conversation, please do so. 657-383-0616. Press 1 and come on. I know I put this show on, just threw it up there at the last minute. And it's hard for people to just come aboard and jump on with the wagon, and because I'm not on my regular scheduled time. But we know Blog Talk Radio kind of like threw us for a loop there, Yeah.
Well, in my case, you were probably 5 or 10 minutes away from being missed. I was just finishing up some stuff, and I the next stuff that we had the special call on the Zoom call back on the 20th. There's a group, American Stewards for Liberty. They were on the War Room with Frank Gaffney, and they're putting it out there of what this really truly means. And these people whose land has been put into these conservative easements and all this other garbage. Conservation, I shouldn't say conservative, conservation easements, all the stuff which probably is happening, I'm sure it's happening in North Carolina, and how they're going to take over the national parks and do this garbage. I mean, people have, this, again, it's literally taken over the land, being invaded by all these illegals, trying to push us into these 15-minute cities. America, you better wake up, get off your dead or whatever's and get involved. Because it's really very symbolic of what's happening to you with this election. They're going to do anything and everything they can to shut down the free people, the people who truly have any appreciation for what's going on. I sent out that email, and I believe I copied you on it too, because I provided the Zoom link for that American Stewards for Liberty, and in reference to the NAC, so they could hear what we were doing, and then trying to get somebody to come on the show as well to talk more. It's all related. I mean, it's all connected. Anything they can do to shut us down. And, we've talked about this in the past. I'll go ahead and rant a little bit more here. Just people have to understand there's nothing new here. This has all been planned. They've been working this, and this is why I'm still hoping. I'm trying to confirm the guest for Monday the 8th about the elections. People have to understand we've allowed these two political parties to own our elections. To go along with all the machines and all the other garbage going on, we have two private entities called the Republicans and the Democrats who have been allowed to own our ballot box. And what they're doing right now, if they were really decent and ethical, the Republicans would be out there making sure that we had a choice, so that the fair and honest elections. And it would be more to say, hey, we've got to look out, they would go to you and say, hey, there's some challenges being brought up here. Give us your information so we can clear this up and you can continue on. But instead of doing that, they're going against you because they have another person that they believe supports theirs. And that shouldn't be the Republican Party is supposed to be neutral with the Republican candidates, but as you can see, they're not. They never will be. It's just we've got to get the two parties out of our ballot box.
Yeah, what's the rule on that? What's the rule on that? What are the bylaws on that, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, when it comes to the Republican Party, everything I've been told, which is what they try to play, what they're doing, the RNC and the presidential stuff, is they are neutral during the primary phase. They are supposed to just be putting information out there, letting people see who the candidates are, blah, 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 blah. And then the Republicans, especially in all the closed primary states, would make the decision of who they want to be on the ballot. Then once they're on the general ballot, then they rally behind those people. But during the primary piece of this, it's all supposed to be neutral. It's all supposed to be nonpartisan in the sense that they don't select. The party isn't supposed to tell you who to vote for as a Republican. They're supposed to have the debates. They're supposed to have the meet and greets and help coordinate those kind of things and especially at the local level with the Republican Executive Committee and all that kind of stuff. What are they doing to bring the Republican candidates to the people locally and stuff like that? So, I mean, have you been to a Republican Executive Committee as a candidate?
No. I've been down to the headquarters a couple of times when they had their little meetings. But other than that, I've never really been invited, and nobody will talk to me. I'm an outsider. I'm a newcomer, they say. I'm a newcomer outsider. I'm not part of the good old boys club. So, they don't want me. That has nothing to do
with the county. I can't remember if it's counties in North Carolina. I think they have counties or whatever. But at the county level, they should be having the Republican Executive Committee meetings once a month or more. And they should be inviting all the Republican candidates in to meet people. Yeah. That's what they should be doing. And that's typically
what right does she have? What right does this woman have to do this? As me being a fellow Republican, what right does she have to attack me like this? She does. She's probably violating the bylaws. Yeah. She violated party rules.
Yeah, definitely look up the North Carolina Republican Party stuff. And it really is two levels. Obviously at the national level what the bylaws are for the national committee, and of course the states are supposed to follow with some maybe some minor tweaking or whatever. But no, they're supposed to be totally neutral in it. And I mean, if they truly think you're not legally allowed to be on the ballot, if they think that's the case, they should have gone to you and say, hey, we got this problem, we got to clean it up, tell us what's going on here and we can help you, support you so you can continue on, or get out of there before you cause a lot of problems. But for them to be the ones attacking you, it just shows the rhino uniparty insanity and why we have to get rid of these stinking parties. The parties are
that's so perfect how you said that. That is so perfect how you said that. And that's what I think I'm going to start pushing. You're right. I believe the destruction of the Republican Party right here in North Carolina. I believe this is the beginning of the end here for North Carolina. I believe they started it right here in Rockingham County. Because you're right. Yeah. It doesn't make any sense. That's why I can't wrap my mind around it. Well, I mean, I've been a registered Republican. I am a registered Republican. I ran in the last primary as a Republican, and now they attack me. Wow.
Yeah.
Who would want to be a part of that?
Well, exactly. Why would you want to be a part of it? And I'm really, again, hoping I get this one guy to come on for the 8th. He's supposed to be. I'm trying to confirm it. He had already said he'd come on the 8th to talk about Constitution and elections. Now this is a state election you're talking about there, and they can have some differences. You'd have to look at your state constitution to see if they have anything truly different at the state level in state elections. But when it comes to the games that they play and he really, one of the key points this guy was stressing, and I really never thought of it this way, but it makes perfect sense. And this is true with any of the parties, which of course there's only 3 parties that truly have any impact, if you will, on the elections. That's the Libertarian Party, not much, and then of course the Democrats and Republicans. But taxpayers should not be funding those private entities. Why are the taxpayers paying for their elections? If you're going to have a closed primary with nothing but your members, why am I paying for it? I shouldn't be paying. So actually
right.
taking it as a violation of taxing me, once truly taxing me. Remember, we talked a lot about the 24th Amendment and that you can't have a poll tax or other tax. And I was taking the approach, you're taxing me by taxing me, my resources, whatever, by forcing me to be a member of an association I don't believe in order to vote for one of these people on the primary, when it really is taxing me because I'm having to pay for their election.
Well said. Again,
I have no part in it. So anyway, that was that kind of stuff. I'll stop off that one for now. But it's just our elections are so corrupt in so many ways, and if we don't get back to some kind of values, you just think our country is totally being taken away, and it's by evildoers and because the complacency, the good people sitting on the sidelines. Good people, you got to get up, get off the couch.
We
get
need
out of
you.
bed, get off
we
the
need
couch,
you.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We need bodies. We need paper pushers. We need people making phone calls. We need people sending out emails. We need you. Because change can happen. We can make a difference. We can.
Yeah. Yep. Well, definitely forward me your info tonight that I can, or send whatever you're sending to that report if you want to, copy me, whichever you want to do.
Yeah.
And then between tomorrow and the weekend, I'll send something back out. I'll try to get it out tomorrow night.
Yeah.
And then, and I'll copy some of the other people, the regulars on my show, who will chime in and say, wait a minute, this isn't right. And
I don't want to bombard you with all kinds of stuff. What documents would you think that would put your I know you believe me, but I'm just saying, what would you think that would be needed to show, in your opinion, to show your constituents what I have to send you?
The one that's restoring your rights. You've got that right there, restoring the rights. That is the key, that yes, you've been restored the rights, and then anything on the background to show, how you've been a patriot, helping your government and helping your country, not hurting it. But definitely the one with the restoration of the rights.
Gotcha.
And then that's stuff.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, I have that document signed by a district court judge. It says my rights were restored. So I mean, how are they going to get around that? How will they get around that? What are they going to say to that?
Well, that's exactly it. And then, depending on how you send out the email, if you address it to that reporter, and then with the North Carolina Republican Party, whoever, if that info's on there, then fine. Or send me a separate email with as many of the email addresses that you have handy. I'll find some too. But I got a couple other people who I think would like to dive in and do some extra research and see who else they can contact and try to blast us a few times before Monday to get some stuff out there. Say, wait, this isn't right.
What happened to the Republic? What happened to the Republic, Sally? Remember, I had all these people from the Republic on here. Remember last year, 2 years ago? Remember? Where did they all go? Where is everybody? Righteous Army. Where are they? I just don't understand these Monday morning and Wednesday afternoon patriots. And then they're gone. After Thursday morning, they're gone. Where is everybody? Where are all these fighters at? Where are the people that want to take a stand? I just don't understand. I don't get it.
Well, and that's the problem, and we hear this on various conservative, constitutionalist, patriot shows and stuff like that. It's like, you got to get out from behind the computer. You got to get out there and get engaged. You got to do that. I'm hoping that I get to make a trip over to Tallahassee on the 16th, 4-hour voter integrity. Excuse me, the voter integrity stuff that we're working on, because we're trying to clean up that stuff too. But you can't just simply watch TV and complain. You got to get engaged. Got to make the phone calls. I've called Michael Johnson again. I called Chip Roy the other day, saying, because he's still out there jumping up and down about DeSantis. Forget DeSantis. He's wrong in what he's saying with that stuff. And it's just, DeSantis is an establishment person. And, Chip Roy seems to be such a fiscal hawk and such a constitutionalist and conservative and all this good stuff. And I love listening to him on that House floor. And he's saying, what am I going back to my people and saying, what did we get accomplished? Nothing. It's all great to hear what he's saying. But then he goes and does this nonsense with DeSantis. It's like, what are you talking about? And so I sent something to him. Then I sent something. Wayne Allen Root is another good one to send. Wayne Allen Root frequently responds back to the emails, within a day, which is really good. And he
really?
Will be, yeah. Mm-hmm, yep. Yep.
I like that.
I can forward you the last email on that one. He was talking about how wonderful the elections are in Florida, and that Florida knows how to do it right, blah, blah, blah. And I said, time out. Sorry, you might, I agree with you on this stuff, but you are wrong here. And then I gave him the reasons, and I copied, of course, a few Floridians. And he responded back. He said, compared to Nevada and California and whatever else, Florida is doing great. So I'm going to be responding back to him probably tomorrow to say, we may be doing better, but being half-baked, it doesn't help. Only half crooked? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
How can you possibly say integrity when you literally are banning a manual count of the ballots? I mean, if they just left it open and said, the counties have the choice to use the tabulators or a manual count, that would be fine. Then we'd go at the local level, we'd fight to get them to do a manual count. But here they ban it, literally ban it at the state level. You
I
can't
know.
have a manual count.
What's up with that?
Why would you do that? Yeah.
Why?
Exactly. There's only one reason you would do that, as far as I can see, because you don't mind the machines being rigged. You don't care. So anyway,
I know. What do you think? You think there's going to be massive election fraud again this time around? I mean, you think we'll have it? I mean, I don't know if Trump's even going to be on the ballot. They might not even let him run it now that from what I'm seeing. I mean, they might just kick him off altogether.
No, I mean, every time they try to trash him on something else, it falls in their face. Even the Epstein plane trip and all that other stuff, they're trying to drag him into all that too, and they're already proven that's not true of the case with him either. So they keep doing this, but it's a federal election, so the states don't have the right to go and pick and choose who's on the ballot, and they can't prove insurrection. So I mean, the fact that he's not been charged with insurrection, he's been not been convicted of insurrection, so the insurrection stuff is all garbage. And I do believe the Supreme Court will overturn it and block them from doing that. So that's not to say they're going to stop him. That's the sad part, is because these people, it's unrestricted war. They will do anything. I'm pretty sure. I can only imagine. I'm not in the same room talking to any of these people, but you'd have to imagine that there's probably a lot of security around Trump these days, because you can only imagine how many people wouldn't think twice about doing something to take him out permanently if they could get away with it. And because of the evilness of these crazy parties and stuff like that, anything is possible. But right now, from the legal perspective, I don't think they're going to be able to keep him off of the ballot. If they're all going to the insurrection thing, he hasn't been charged with it, and they haven't convicted him of it. They haven't charged him with it in all this time. What do they think they're going to do? And they might try to charge him at the last minute, but hopefully it gets dismissed. But I mean, we have craziness at all levels, and people better really think about how crazy this really is across the board. The insanity of what this country has become. Here we're doing this, and because he'll stop the invasion. Why is the flood even happening? Is the invasion even worse? Because of them, they're even more afraid if Trump gets in there, the border will be shut down. And, of course, that was the other part. It's like, okay, Michael Johnson, oh, yeah, wasn't that nice? You went to the border, you beat your chest for 2 minutes, and now what are you going to go do about it? Because the one guy, the Law and Borders, I can't remember his name, Ben something. Anyway, he's been covering a lot of this stuff, and he was out there. He asked all the representatives who were there, how many of you are willing to shut down the government to secure this border? Silence. And these are the Republicans. Silence. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You go out there, do the look up on Law and Borders. It's on the Real America's Voices thing. I'm sure you can find some of the videos.
All right, hang on, Gunslinger.
Right,
you want to come on? All right, Gunslinger. Let me see if I can get you on here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Okay. Sorry. Yeah. If people are having problems pushing one, I apologize. I'm not ignoring you. Trust me. It's just it's not with Blog Talk. I got another glitch. But go ahead. Go ahead. You got the floor with Sally.
Well, this is Gunslinger. I live in Texas. Okay, and you're absolutely correct. I mean, this if Trump does not get in there in the end of this year, I see a civil war brewing. Okay, because I have kept up with this for years upon years. Okay, the way these people are doing, the Democrats, I call them the Democrats, craps, rats, whatever you want to call them. Okay, they are the borderline. They are the ones that are destroying this country. Trump was trying to build it up. You see how everything was great when he was in the office. Gas was down, food was down, everything was rosy. We was the most respected country in the entire world. Now we're hated and laughed at because of AKA poopy pants that are in the White House right now. Okay, it's ridiculous. It's sickening. Okay, but like I said, they cheat. Democrats cheat. That's all they do. And that's exactly what's wrong with this country right now. Because you see who's in there right now. Oh my God, it's the most embarrassing, the most craziest, most name some new words. I'm looking for some new words. Okay, that this administration has done. Okay, especially with the border. Like I said, I'm in Texas. I'm a border state. I live in North Texas, around the Dallas area, but the border's 450 miles west here, and they're pouring over like. Well, like water, okay. But at least our governor, Greg Abbott here, is doing something. He's fighting the federal government over this. They're trying to sue Texas and all this stuff. I mean, this is insanity. Instead of trying to protect the country and try to keep these idiots out of here, because they're not scholars, they're not tradespeople, they're not, people that you won't hear in this country. They're scumbags. And guess who's waiting on this side? Gangs, drugs, criminality, you name it. It seems like that's what they want. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. You're absolutely correct. And we saw this coming. Remember, Sally? I mean, we saw this coming with the Biden administration. We said, we're in trouble now. We're in trouble.
I said that. I said that too. I said, uh-oh, we're in trouble now.
Sit back and think about it. Remember when Trump was president? Remember, you're absolutely right. Gas was cheap. We were, and the economy was good.
The other thing too, real quick here, not to cut you off there, but Joe, I got to throw this out there because what he was saying, Gunslinger was saying, it's so true. The thing is, they were calling. Remember early on, they were calling him a nationalist. Well, yeah, he is. He wants to maintain the sovereignty of this nation, which means he's shutting down the Clinton nutcase and the Obama, and of course the establishment and all that other garbage on this one world order, Great Reset, all this other crap from the World Economic Forum and all this other stuff. So it's really because what he's doing is impacting worldwide. I mean, we're not talking, wow, thank goodness we were getting the gas prices down and being energy independent and all that kind of stuff, which is all great, fine and dandy, but all to prove our own sovereignty. But he was really, he pulled the rug out from under them when it came to this UN Agenda 21, Agenda 2030, One World Order. And this is where, thank goodness, some Americans have woke up, but we need more Americans to wake up and understand that's what's really going on here. They want the United Nations, UNESCO. UNESCO owns our Statue of Liberty. Can you believe this? This is the insanity. It's so insane. But anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, here's the breakdown on the Statue of Liberty. Okay, remember when the French gave it to us? Okay. Remember, at the time, the people here in America, they didn't even want this thing. Okay, they said build an island out there. You see, it's surrounded by water, so technically it's an island. It's really not a part of the United States. Technically, an island when you have surrounded by water. They didn't even want it. They said, "Well, you're gonna build an island out there. Put it out there. We don't want it on the shore here." And there was plenty of room at that time, up and down that shoreline, for them to put it on the actual soil of America. Okay, and look at the inscription. It says, "Give us your sick, give us your poor, give us all." We don't want that. Are you kidding me? I mean, go back to your own third world garbage can that you crawled out from under, and let your own government take care of it. like Mexico.
Yeah.
Oh, we want to come over here and better our life. Well, why don't you overthrow your own freaking government over there, and maybe you can do it. Are you that stupid or lazy? It's got to be something. Okay, water is water, gravity is gravity, air is air. So what's your problem? And the rest of these people. But if you go out there and try to get into these other countries by slithering over the border, they'll shoot your ass. They won't hesitate to pull a gun and shoot your ass. Try to go into Russia or China or North Korea with a rocket boy over there. They would literally take your head off. Yeah, there you go.
Try to buy land in any of these places.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, it's insanity. And when Trump was in the office, of course, he's a negotiator because he's a multi-billionaire. He knows how to negotiate contracts and stuff, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So he knows how to sit with these world leaders like Putin and Rocket Boy over there. Okay. Everything was nice and calm the 4 years that Trump was in there. Now we're on the verge of World War III. With who? Rocket Boy? Russia, maybe? So you see that the very second, well, actually within 12 hours of that poopy pants idiot sitting in that chair in the White House, this country went to hell in a handbasket. I dare anybody to prove me wrong. Go ahead.
No, it's the truth. He's filling in. He's the bobblehead because Hillary Clinton would have gone on to the next level. They would have done this, and those people would have been totally unaware that they were even doing this. Just like right now, and I don't have it. I'll try to pull it up and see if I can find the link. This is through the United Nations, the One World Order, Global Immigration Compact. All these countries are all like 170 something, whatever it is. It's not all of them, but 170. I doubt China's participating. Are out there saying, yeah, we're opening our borders to massive travel. Let people travel freely. Well, where are they all traveling to? Guess where? But this is what they did through the United Nations, and it was Biden and our idiot vice president there who got into all this right after he was in there, right same time as he was tearing down all the border security. Title, what is it? Which one? With the Title 42 or whatever it was. All the stuff. They tore down everything that Trump had put in place, and of course let the actual border wall materials sit and rot and whatever else, because they signed the UN Compact for open immigration. Most people don't know that. When was the last time you heard anybody on the news talk about it?
You're not.
Exactly. But that was the plan. That was the plan all along. That was what Hillary was going to do. Remember, Hillary is Saul Alinsky's rules for radicals, just like Obama. In these nutcases, they wanted one world order because they know what's best for us. And, of course, we all know what's best for Clinton when he wants to go to Epstein's with little girls' routines. I mean, these people are sick.
Well, look at the deal that they had at Epstein Island, Pedophile Island. The Clintons were there. Okay? They even had the logs of that airplane. Our airplanes have to keep logs.
Gunslinger, you see Hannity and everybody. Let's not get into that. Let's not get into the lists and everything. They don't want to talk about that. They don't want to expose these criminals. No,
they don't. No. Absolutely not. They don't want to expose them. They want to, because they are themselves criminals. A criminal's going to expose a criminal? I never heard of that. Honor among thieves. I've heard that now. Honor among thieves, yeah, but
I've heard it, but I very seldom saw it.
Yeah, there you go.
Man, oh man, I tell you. But with the voices that we have together on these podcast shows, just multiply them and sit back and analyze for a minute how many people we've got, man. We could be a force to be reckoned with. If we put our minds together and put our resources together to attack the issues that are affecting us and destroying our Constitution and Republic, we can restore this thing. We just have to work together. And we just don't do it. We just don't do it. Why? I don't know.
Well, I haven't figured out why either. Okay, there's only a handful of people in Washington deceive us that's controlling all this. Just a little handful. That's all it is. And we outnumber them 1,000 to 1. Okay, really. Want to do the numbers. Okay. And if everybody would just rise up tomorrow, we could take this country back tomorrow without even having to fire a shot, literally. But, when you got these lazy people out there that, I just want to get along, I get along with the doggy.
Yeah.
It's not going to work that way. It's not going to work that way. Did the founding fathers say the same thing? Did they say, well, we'll just sit around the old campfire and we'll just smoke that peace pipe? Okay. Did they say that? No. Sorry, they didn't. Okay. They used those things that will come out of the end of a gun against the British. And we won. But it didn't. Yeah. It wasn't by peaceful means. Obviously, I wish it was. But that's the way. It's the same thing then as it is now. It's just a different time difference. All it is. We're fighting the same difference. Yeah. We're fighting against the British, basically. Control and all that stuff. Yeah, go ahead.
Wow, I tell you, it's just. The one key point that we discussed tonight is that their precedent they're setting with these constitutional challenges to people running for public office. I mean, the president, if Trump loses, you realize he can't run for president. And then anyone else who has a similar, who's been accused of insurrection, not arrested and found guilty, accused, you won't be able to run for public office.
Well, real quick here. It's not, I'm telling you, if they do, right now I see some type of civil disobedience, so whether that's going to be civil war or not, I don't know. But there's going to be something happen one way or the other. It really, truly doesn't matter. If they block Trump from being on there, I hate to see what's going to happen. If they leave him on there, you have these nutcases on the other side who are going to do, Lord only knows, unrestricted war. Just keep saying that unrestricted war. So something will happen one way or the other, whether he's on there or not. And we all better be prepared for what that really, truly means. I mean, that's my own personal opinion, because if he's on there, I don't see the other loons, the Democrat, Communist, Uniparty out there sitting there silently on the sidelines. They'll just like the BLM stuff, blowing up things, and Soros giving them all the money to do it. And at the same time, the people who support Trump right now, the massive people who support Trump and know that the 2020 election was stolen, know all these Jan 6 people are illegally incarcerated right now, that's going to explode too. People are going to finally say, we got to do something to take back our country. And then you think about it right then and there, how many cells of Chinese and whatever else are planted all over this country right now from what they've done under the guise of refugees. I put the links out there in the chat. Excuse me. It's going to be a mess. This year is judgment year. And then think about what they did back in the fall of the Roman Empire too. They occupied the idiots. They truly occupied the idiots, have them play games in the Coliseum and get them drunk. And that's where, unfortunately, we have too many Americans who are more worried about getting drunk watching a stupid Super Bowl game than they are in saving their country.
Yep. Good. Yeah. I mean, every single. Go ahead, Gunslinger. Go ahead.
Well, I just said, like I said, everything is going up and up and up exponentially. Okay, crime, because of these idiots that are flowing over the border. I think you ought to put some alligators down there. Okay, hey, they'll eat for free, right? Okay, so that's one way to solve it. But like I said, I'm 59 years old. I'll be 60 11th of this month. Oh my God, 11th of this month. And I've never seen it like this. And I'm a retired master electrician, electrical engineer, and I've done work all over Dallas-Fort Worth. Okay, residential, commercial, whole 9 yards. I've never seen it this bad. Okay, that's why they call me the gunslinger, because I carry a gun every time I walk out that door right there, 9mm with 61 rounds on me. Okay. You didn't have to do that. Didn't have to worry about that. Boy, you do now. And I live around the Dallas area, just south of Dallas. And man, you talk about the shootings, the murders, the drive-bys, the road rage, for God's sakes. It's going up.
I'm a felon. I'm a felon now. I can't protect myself anymore.
Yeah, ain't that crazy? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Hey,
I just found out this week I'm a felon. You know, I just found out this week. Yeah, this week.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Wow.
Yep. Isn't that something? I mean,
but that's what they want. If they could get a felony on every person in this country, they would just be just grinning ear to ear. That way, they could take away the guns. See, felon, you can't have guns or whatever, can't carry it. I mean, you can possess them in your own personal house, but you damn sure can't go out there and carry them to protect yourself against these idiots. I figured that one out. Real wow.
Let me explain something. No man can take away your rights. You know? I mean, if you transgress against society, obviously you'll be judged for it. But once you've done with your sentence and you've done your time, that's it. Your rights are given to you by God or your creator. They're not given to you by government. Government doesn't grant rights.
No, they don't grant it. No.
Well, that illusion of control.
Yeah,
that illusion of control. Got to take it away, gunslinger. Got to take it away.
Yeah. It is illusion because it looks like, look at the driving issue. Oh, well, that's a privilege. No, it's not. It's a right. You have a right to travel from point A to point B by every means that you want. If you want to sprout little wings out of your back and fly, that's fine. If you want to drive a vehicle, that's fine. This is how government does. Remember when lots of the states, before the states had a constitutional carry, you had to ask master, okay, the state. Master, can I carry a gun? Master, can I please? Like a little child. Okay, Master, please, can I carry a gun? And it was up to Daddy, big state, okay. But if you, son, now if you got a little glitch on your record there, no, we got to pat you on the back of the hand now. Go about your good little way, little slave. We'll protect you. Yeah, that's the most horrible word that you'll ever hear in your entire life. We're here from the government, and we're here to help. Mm-hmm. Sure you are.
Yeah, that's the most broken word.
Yeah.
We're here to help. We're here to help. Wow. I don't know. World War III, we've done a good job speaking out against it because they were heading towards it, weren't they? Remember a couple months ago, They were full steam ahead, going right towards it.
Going right toward it. Yep. Something changed. Somebody had to kind of divert it off a little bit. Okay, thank God.
Too many of us were awake.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Absolutely.
There's Sally's out there talking about it. I'm out here. You're out here. We're all out here being active. We're all out here sending emails. We're writing letters. We're contacting people. We're fighting. We're standing up against it. How big of a voice are you, everyone out there in the Patriot community? What have you done? I challenge everybody to get involved somehow, some way. Do your part. Because everything counts to stop this new world order from keeping moving forward. Whatever you do is.
If it's just even sending letters on the phone, call your representative. Be on shows like this. It goes out worldwide. Yep. Make your voice known. Scream up and down. Paw the ground. The old saying goes. Okay, because you don't want this World War III. Okay, are you kidding me? Because it's being nuclear. There ain't no doubt about that. Okay, these people are that crazy to use, especially Rocket Boy over there in North Korea. He's a nutcase. He would hit that nuke button in a freaking heartbeat. Okay, and he actually got along with Trump. He actually liked him. They got along good. Well, it's good to get along with your enemy. That's real good. That's the first thing of protecting yourself. Is, hey, I better be kind of get along with my enemy over here because I don't want him pushing that button, and I'll have to push my button, and then we'll all be glowing like a freaking microwave.
Well, they know Trump would take action. They did fear what Trump would do because he was a person of his word. It's like he said he's going to do this, and you do it. He's going to do that. And but I got a question for both of you. I mean, seriously, kind of like what I was talking about. If Trump stays on the ballot, what do you think these loons will do? and if he's taken off the ballot, what do you think? And with all this in this invasion, because it is an invasion, I put the stuff out there, the refugee. Notice how they keep calling them refugees now. They played all sorts of games to change their language. And that's all tied in to this game that Biden got into right after he got into office. Think about the refugees. What do you – and you see these a veteran that I know said they're called MAMs, military-age men. Look at the military-age men, and I don't see any of them looking like they're suffering, like some kind of refugee who's really escaping some kind of hardship. I don't see that with most of these people coming over there. Half the time their clothes look newer than mine and stuff like that. It's like, and of course they can throw trash and do whatever they want. If I threw that much trash out on the ground, I'd be in jail. I would be a felon if I threw that much trash and garbage, trash and waste pollution out there. But seriously, you think about with this invasion coming on here, is there going to be another 9/11 before the election or whatever else? What do you, I'm curious as to what both of you are thinking of what can happen in 2024 with this insanity of this election.
Well, I'll go first. How's that? I'll go first. I think what's going to happen, if Trump is allowed on the ballot and we go move forward with the election period, I believe that he will be elected, but there'll be some sort of major false flag crisis that's going to divert the attention away from him being elected and holding office, because it's going to be so large. I believe it'll be some sort of chemical attack or dirty bomb or something in the Middle East along those lines that'll take the world stage and focus right on that, and all eyes are off America and our leaders and our problems. In my opinion, anyway. What do you think, Gunslinger?
I would not be a bit surprised, but like I said, I look at everything in a very logical manner. Because, like I said, I'm a retired master electrician, electrical engineer. Spent 20 years in the field, okay? I look at numbers. I can look at the handwriting on the wall over there, okay? And I can dissect it logistically, okay? So he's going to get – there's no doubt he's going to be a shoo-in. There's no doubt, because all the polls that I'm seeing is he's up, up to 70%, one of the last ones that I checked out, okay? And it's thousands upon thousands of people that take these public polls every day, and it's always for Trump. Trump is always coming out on the top. If he gets in there, there's going to be – the shit's going to hit the fan. If he don't get in there, shit's going to hit the fan. Either way, it's like we're stuck between a rock and a hard place. You ever heard that old saying, okay? We can't do it here. We can't do it there. You're not going to be able to please everybody. That's impossible.
Yeah.
There's no way in freaking hell you're ever going to be able to please everybody. But these idiots out here will go nutball crazy. I mean, you think they went crazy in 2016? Holy man, you better tie your shoes down to your floor this time, or nail your shoes to the floor, because they're going to go all out ape. Okay, they are going to literally. If you are a Trump supporter, okay, if you wear a magma hat, and the closer we get to the election, this is going to be more and more prevalent. You're a target. You're a target. I'm a target. I care. I wear a cap that says, Trump 2024. I also wear a cap, and I got it right on because I went out there earlier today that said fuck Biden on it. Okay? I'm a target. So bring it on. You got to stand up for your rights. If you don't, you're going to die on your knees. You want to die on your knees, or you want to stand up and fight? The choice is yours, So what choice are you going to make?
What's your thoughts there, Sally? What's your thoughts?
Well, this is kind of what I was saying earlier. First off, just totally understanding that we have been invaded. There's an invasion, and I keep asking the question, when do Americans defend their homeland? Right now, we're standing here watching an invasion and a takeover of our country, regardless of any presidential election, because military-age men that are coming in, and these, most of them Chinese, there's been different numbers out there, who knows. But and we know that Obama was doing some of this garbage under his refugee program, where they're planting these cells of these Chinese Communist Party, whoever, the enemy, the terrorist, whatever you want to call it, on top of all the fentanyl and all the other garbage, that these cells are being planted all over the place. I guarantee you they have access to guns. So right now, if any kind of civil war, do we not already have multiple cells, enemy cells, scattered all across this country to take us down? Will there be another 9/11 event before the election? So that's a big part of it. And then the other part, the loons, and this includes the Republican Party. Look how weak the Republican Party is. These people are the uniparty. And as I was telling some people over the weekend, over the holidays too, I was like, we got to realize Republicans are stupid, okay? Just admit it. Republicans are stupid. It's the Democrats who were smart, the Democrats who ran as Republicans with all the fine talking points, and Republicans had to vote for an R. They wouldn't vet the people. They wouldn't challenge what these people were doing. So the Democrats took over the Republican Party for the most part. So what is the Republican Party? Seriously, they're worthless. If that Republican Party that's in there right now, if they don't lose any more members and all this other nonsense, if they don't shut down this country for that border, then you're hopeless. It's hopeless. We are truly fighting both parties. You have no friend in office. I mean, we know we have a few here and there, Matt Gaetz and Andy Biggs and all this kind of stuff, Rick Biggs, and that type of thing. So we know there are some genuine representatives out there fighting our cause. The Senate is useless. The 50 Republicans in the Senate, they are ridiculous. You maybe have 3 or 4 that are useless. So we have no representation. We don't have anybody fighting for us in Washington, D.C. And then you go to the state level. How many of these people in public office at the state level have any clue what the 10th Amendment is? Because we could stop a lot of those problems if they'd actually exercise their 10th Amendment rights to protect our state. They don't know that either. So we are out here defenseless in many respects, just like Jan 6. Jan 6 was a warning. If you try to do what you're legally allowed to do, protest, that we're going to put you in jail. We will. And this is what they've been allowed to do. They've done it up to this point. So you think about the Jan 6ers who were out there peacefully protesting, but it's just too bad, unfortunately, of course it's easy for me to say all this stuff now, that those who were organizing that event didn't spend more time warning them that you're going to be set up. When Nancy Pelosi refused the National Guard and the security and all the other stuff, you're being set up. They want you there because they're going to entrap you. They're going to play games. So you know what? Honest people, stay back. Don't get near there. Even though it is our house, we the people, our house, that doesn't mean you're allowed to go in, especially in a situation like this. So they entrapped these people, and then they went and arrested them. They put the fear in a lot of people. A lot of people aren't going to do anything because they're afraid now. So here they got this going on to marginalize the actual American people while they have it being taken over and planting these cells all across this country under this refugee that we all get to pay for. We're paying for our enemies to come take over, and we're sitting here watching, doing nothing. So then you go to the next level. What's the other piece going to happen? I guess if Trump stays on, if Trump is able to stay on the ballot, which I think he will, there will be, kind of like what Joe was saying, some kind of national crisis, emergency, whatever it is that they can try to enact some other powers and somehow either block the election from even happening. I don't know, some crazy thing they can do on that one, and also try to take away the guns from the people. I don't know, something like that will happen, or a 9/11 event will happen. If, in fact, it goes far enough that we actually have an election on what is it, November or whatever day it is now, can't remember if it's the 4th, 5th, whatever, have the election. If Biden wins, which there's no way he would legally win. There's no way. People know he's brain dead. The people are complaining. New York and Chicago are fighting against what Biden's doing. I mean, come on. So we know there's no way Biden would ever legally, legitimately be elected. And when it comes to what the people can do, there's going to be a lot more people, I think, watching the count. And there's going to be some cleanup in the election process, but will they be able to totally clean it up? Not when you have stupid states like Florida saying you have to use electronic tabulators and that they won't even consider a manual count to validate it. I mean, come on. You know, they can all be legal, legitimate voters, but if the tabulators can be out there screwed up and flipping votes and doing whatever else, are you going to have an honest election? So that part, and then, of course, if Trump gets elected, which I truly believe if the election's even halfway honest, Trump would be elected, what are these nutcases going to do then? I just can't even begin to imagine what these loony bins will do. And that includes the idiot Republican Party that's out there fighting him, too. You got to think, that's why I said Kennedy and Trump are truly the ultimate candidates, because the Democrats hate Kennedy and the Republicans hate Trump.
Yep.
The parties themselves, not the individuals of the parties.
You got to go back in history a little bit, and you got, especially when you come with the Second Amendment and everything. Because, like I said, I'm definitely a Second Amendment 100,000 zillion% supporter, no doubt about it. But you got to go back in history. Remember Pearl Harbor, okay? When the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor, the admiral of that Japanese fleet was interviewed whenever short time later or whatever, and the interviewer asked that admiral, they said, well, you was right there at Pearl Harbor. How come you didn't go over there and attack the mainland? You had a complete naval fleet out there to do it with. And you know what he said? He said that because there would be a gun behind every blade of grass.
Mm-hmm.
And he's right.
Yeah.
And he's right.
Yep, that's the only reason we're standing today. I truly believe that's the only reason why we're still standing today.
That's right. Yeah. There's more guns in this country than there are people. Okay, believe it. Okay, there's more guns. Okay, so there's a lot of people, especially down here in the South. Okay, we wouldn't take lightly to that. So, would there be another civil uprising? Call it what you want, civil war, whatever you want to call it. If they try to do that, which they would be stupid to do, but just like you said, they got stupid people running the show. The circus, that is.
Got loons. Beyond stupid, we've got loons. We've got maniacs.
Loons, maniacs, yeah. Make up some new words for them. I mean, wow.
Which is actually another topic for another day, but the way that they will try to, with all the crap, the drugs they're putting in all these kids, this transgendering and all the insanity, not to mention the fentanyl and stuff, what they're doing to the human mind is unbelievable too. And you can be sure just like people say, well, wait a minute, we had these shootings. Well, what was wrong with that young person? Why they did that? Were they that depressed? Were they mentally ill? Yes, they were mentally. Just wait until that'll be part of the program too, if it's needed. Go out there and say, well, actually, because you believe in liberty and freedom and that Constitution, you must suffer from some mental illness, and now you're going to be Baker acted because you're mentally ill. You can't have a gun. They'll do anything. I don't put anything past these people.
Red flag. Let's see here. Who else we got up here? Who else is for another 407? Let's see here. Bring them on. Go ahead here, 407.
Yeah, this is Nathan in Orlando. I'm sitting here listening. You said one thing that woke me up, Sally, when you said you named a handful of Republicans that seem to be on the job. But here's the thing. If me and you went as Congress members to Washington, D.C., and we both got elected because we promised that we were going to lower the taxes for our constituents. And when we got up there, they made a deal, and you agreed to vote for it. You agreed with the increase, and you voted for it. Sally, I would come back. You would hate me. I would come back and say she said that she was going to lower taxes, and she didn't. We don't see that happen. There's so much in Washington, D.C., like Executive Order 12803. You never heard anybody jump up and say, hey, that's not constitutional. And when you try to bring up the subject, people get quiet. And so I don't know if people are scared they might get hurt if they really bare their conscience. But, we have one party, and I can't ever violate my conscience and vote for a Republican unless he's a citizen candidate not endorsed by the party. I could never vote for a Republican because we got one party. It never stops, and they keep us in a short-term memory.
Okay, one thing I will comment on that, when it comes, if you're talking the Republican Party, I vote for the individual, not the party. I can't stand political parties. But when we go back and when and totally understanding, it's no one person. Because the candidate said they were going to support border security or whatever else, I don't expect one candidate by themselves to do this. But you know what? What really annoys me the most with these candidates or these elected now that the so-called representatives and senators, of course, everything they said they were going to do, once they get there, they crawl under a rock. I want these people to like the Chip Roys out there, to go out there and be getting in the face of the people. People, hey, you got to get involved too here. I'm here trying to speak for you, but you know what? If you're going to leave me stranded and you're not going to help me get these other people on board, then I can't do a whole lot for you. I can't do it by myself. But they never reach out to the people. They never really. I mean, Matt Gaetz and a few of them. Like I say, you got a small group of, and most of them are Republicans. Forget whatever on the other side. But you get the small group that actively engage the people and actively turn down the money from all the special interests. How many of them here? They don't even want to release the Epstein vote videos or reports or whatever it is because they're afraid some of the members will be compromised. It's all a game to these people. If they really cared, they would come to one, be honest and do what they're supposed to do. But they would actively engage. We, the people, the consent of the governed. Let's talk about educating the people. Consent of the governed. It is our government. We are the people they represent. But they never do this. They just like Marjorie Taylor Greene was a perfect example of all the games she played at the beginning of 2023, getting Kevin McCarthy out there. She was, we're going to take care of this through appropriations. And it was all because she played games to be on some committee with Kevin McCarthy, and she allowed him to do that. She prostituted her soul as far as I'm concerned. And then all of a sudden she realized, he isn't doing what he said. Yes, I'm on the committee I want, so if I want to stay on this committee, I have to just go along with what he says. No. If you have to sell your soul, then you've missed it. And this is what most of these people do. Well, I want to be on this committee because this is where I think I can help. Well, if you've already had to sell your soul to be on that committee, you're not going to get anything done on that committee either because you'll have to sell your soul again. And, I mean, this is the insanity. And this is where people really need to contact their representatives and senators and say, when are you going to stand up and speak about this? When are you going to stop doing stupid talking points for some election commercial that you're trying to do? When are you going to get the people engaged, have real town halls, have Zoom meetings, whatever, and actually talk to us? Because you don't seem to be listening to us. You're playing games with them. And if this other senator is playing games, guess what? Stop giving money to the stupid Republican National Committee and, of course, the DNC.
Yeah.
Stop giving money. And that's happening now.
They're
feeling the pinch there. I'll stop now.
This is why I'm saying they are one team, and even if you really do disagree, you just shut up. You don't say nothing. You don't get out there unless you're like this new speaker that is Newt Gingrich reincarnated, that's jumping up and telling us everything our heart wants to hear, and yet if that was really him, why didn't we see that whenever he got elected? He would have made national news. Even if he was running for dog catcher, he would have made national news if that is who he really is. You know, he's talking to our hearts, not our heads.
Well,
everybody knows this. Why does everybody act like they're fucking surprised? If you know that Congress is corrupt as hell, so why is everybody acting like, oh my God, look what they're doing? Yeah. They're taking money from the lobbies. They're taking money from special interests. And as Harry Truman said, he never met a politician who, once they were honest, once they entered office, stayed honest once they got out. And everybody's acting like it's a big fucking surprise. It's not. Now, to answer Sally's question about what are we going to do, the people most of the time think that the way to resolve problems is by elections. Most of the people, especially liberals, do not believe that Congress is so corrupt that it will sell America down the river. That is one huge mental block. Most people realize that Congress, all politicians are corrupt in one way or another. But for them, born here in America, first generation, second generation, third generation Americans, to sell America to the Chinese, to the Marxists, to the globalists, they say it can't happen here. So that answers your question, Sally. Also,
well,
when you're
here's what
talking
happens
about,
is if here's the thing,
let me
they'll
finish
sell
there,
us
Nathan.
to the Chinese.
I'll get to your particular narrative in a second about the log rolling. The other thing is that since they don't believe that America is the politicians are that corrupt, what else are they going to do? You answered your own question, Sally. You said, hold on a second. Sally, you answered your own question when you said the people are probably afraid. Yeah, those who are awakened know what's happened. They're afraid. So if they're afraid, what do you expect people who, number one, are ignorant, and number two, the others who are afraid, what do you expect them to do except to storm the Bastille? And if we storm the Bastille, Gunslinger thinks that everybody with the gun is going to win because we've got more guns in this country than we have people. And as a result, if the military isn't on our side, the tanks and the helicopters and the lasers and the particle beams and the radar, all of that just doesn't count. I disagree with everybody here. Now, to get to your point, Nathan, the log rolling, even if we had so-called honest elections, I agree with you that if Sally and you are on different sides of the fence, you want lower taxes. Let's say she wants abortion. The bill comes down. You've got higher taxes, no abortion. You're going to vote for your particular promise, your campaign promise, but at the same time, you're still voting for a bill that favors the other side. So we got to get rid of that too. And I land my plane, and anybody else who wants to jump in, go ahead.
Well, but you're right, because what it does is for me to get my taxes, my lower taxes, I have to make a deal with her. And so there is no conscience. Once you get elected, you have to compromise. And then at the end, whenever it's re-election time, you start appealing to people's hearts on what they hold dear, and we're never ever going to have any. We're going to continue moving further and further to Chinese as the boss of our country. We're moving in that direction, and so America pretty much is over.
Yeah.
I'm looking for a solution. I don't have it. I keep asking people, and I don't want to keep hearing, what are we going to do? Because if we keep asking, what are we going to do, we're never going to do anything. How about saying, I think we should do this, even as a minimum effort? I wish somebody would come up with that and let me know, because I am completely in the dark about it.
Yeah, but if we come up with an answer of what we want to do, the politicians will go, yeah, and they'll start campaigning on that in the next election, and then once they win, guess what? That's what happened with the Tea Party. The Tea Party was rejected the Republican Party. They jumped out in front and changed the term from no more politicians, no more lawyers to reelect the Republicans and hold their feet to the fire. And now we got Obamacare with 100 to 0 vote count after Ted Cruz's 21-hour, 19-minute filibuster. So, at some point, I'm going to just conclude, no one's listening to me. I'm never going to get what I vote for, so I'm just going to sit back and watch the place swirl around the drain,
That's what George Coleman was thinking.
Yeah, well, we can't, here's what bothers me is we got this executive order, and this really bugs me. We got executive order 12803, and you can't get anybody to talk about it. And yet we got people buying up. Port Miami, 49% of it is owned by China, and I can't pronounce the two countries that split the 51%. And we got to listen to what the Republicans are going to do to save us from the Democrats. Okay, and not one Democrat or Republican has ever yelled out, "This is not Constitution." George Daddy Bush should have been tried for treason, and this is why we got the borders coming across, and all we're hearing is Trump broke the law. He led a rebellion, and he's not qualified to be president. And there's been no trial and no declare of guilty, and yet they're already ruling on it. And you know what? How many people coming across the border every day, and no one is talking about, the commander-in-chief, this is his job to protect America. We need to bring charges against him.
Yep.
There are people talking about it. The sad part, Nathan, too, is there's so many things that should be being done at the state level on charges for Biden and Hunter Biden and company. So there's things the states should be doing, but we they talk in the House. If you're being realistic, which you were just talking about, the compromising the games in there, we know with that stupid Senate, which has the Democrats as the majority, and the House, which has the Republicans as the majority, even though half of them are truly Rhino Unipartiers. We know, if you're honest, there's not going to be an impeachment that's going to go through and get anything done because of the Senate. Even if you got enough of the Rhino Uniparties in the House to do anything, you're never going to get past the Senate, even though it should be done. Now, when it comes to the same for that stupid Department of Homeland Security, that guy's a treasonous traitor too. But because you have this split House right now, you won't. Now, if we had the Senate and the Republicans were in the Senate, would it happen? We'd have a better chance, but I don't know that it would actually happen either. Because, like I said, you got some of these idiots.
I don't think we would have a chance, because whenever you got what you call rhinos, and the real Republicans are not standing up and saying, "Hey, man, why are you doing that?" And they're not having that debate.
Well, actually,
and so whether it's rhinos or dinos, it doesn't matter. It's one party.
Yeah, well, but remember, there's only a few true, genuine Republican constitutionalists in the House, in Washington, D.C., or in the state of Florida, as far as that goes. There's only a few of those. And what Matt Gaetz has done, I applaud him. Some people are saying, no, he shouldn't have done that because he wasn't playing the game right. He was speaking the truth, and that's not playing the game right. So he pushed back, and look what McCarthy did. McCarthy, well, since they're going to push me out of the House Speaker, then I'm just going to go home. I'm resigning in the end of the year. So now they lost one of the Republican votes. And this is the game that goes on. This is the reality. I'm just saying right now, in the circumstances in Washington, D.C., there is no chance to impeach Biden. There's definitely things that the states could do against both of them for the illegal actions they've done. But which do you think Ashley Moody is going to do anything in the state of Florida? Do you really think she's going to do anything? She's supposed to be one of the better ones. She ain't going to do anything either. So you got it's a cancer throughout this whole system. It truly is a cancer, and it's up to the people to force more of it. We need, truthfully, in my own opinion, we can go back to the Tea Party. Back in the day of the Tea Party, most of the Republicans were still drinking Republican Kool-Aid. Many are still drinking it today, but not as much. So that was the Tea Party. I was there. I would tell these people, I said, you're just voting for the same garbage. But when it comes to what's happening right now, we truly need another march on Washington, D.C., only everybody's going to be told, the true patriots, the MAGA people, you're not going to be armed because they're going to prove it's a peaceful thing, blah, blah, blah. And you're also not going to go on the darn property of the House. Even if the police open the door, call you in, take you on a grand tour, you are not going to go inside there. If you go inside and you get arrested, then it's your own stupid doing. But we need that same march on Washington, only making sure people know, don't let them entrap you. That we need and it really needs to be done at every capital across the state. There needs to be a massive, massive demonstration, and people need to know, be careful, don't let yourself get entrapped.
Yeah, but how many rallies have ever been really, really big like that says, hey, the people are serious, and the people really got what they wanted? Name one. That just shows that we're going to show up to the polls to vote.
Yeah, well, Nathan, you and I have had this talk many times, not on the show and off the show. Right now, if you're going to surrender, that's okay. If you want to give up, if you're going to put up the white flag, America's over. I'm not going to do anything else. I'm going to stay home and watch TV till it's completely over, and then I'm going to go while I'm watching TV. I'm going to go learn how to speak Chinese, if that's what you want to do. I'm not willing to quite give up that easily. I'm still fighting.
We're going to learn to
what's
speak,
the expression? Live free or die.
Anything I do or don't do doesn't stop me from speaking.
I'm ready to die.
But anything I'm going to do or not do is not going to stop me from speaking Chinese.
Let me finish what I'm saying, Nathan, then I'll be quiet for you to talk. Please remember that. I think I'm pretty nice to you. I think I don't interrupt you too many times, even on my show. I live free or die. I will not comply. I must be ready to die. If you're going to comply with the communist Chinese stuff, then that's what it is. And if the majority of Americans are ready to surrender, the true Americans, not all the illegals and all this refugee crap, if the true Americans are ready to surrender their rights because of COVID and whatever nonsense, then we've already fallen, so it doesn't matter. It won't matter if that's what most Americans want. I don't think most Americans are ready to surrender just yet. Maybe they are. I'm not. I'll die trying. Live free or die. That's me. It's all yours.
Okay, well, we can ride down the highway and be so proud that this highway we're riding on our great-grandfather built after the war. And, man, America's a great place when you walk into the courtroom, the courthouse, and look around and go, this is where Americans take care of their business, and then find out who owns that infrastructure there or that highway, and then ask me, can us reelecting the Republicans one more time save us from where we've gotten to at this point? They've already signed the title to America over to the new owners. And so for me to show up in Washington, D.C. with my flag and my shirt, you know, I don't think that's all that's doing is the Republicans know, okay, we might get a majority in the next election, but who cares? We still keep moving in the wrong direction. Abraham Lincoln was a citizen. I'll end it with this. Abraham was a citizen. He came from the culture. He saw an issue that our culture had. It was a big one. We got to stop it. He ran. He won. And they said, no, we got to stop this guy. And guess what? Trump is that next guy, but he's against that same odds too, because the Whig Party, the Republican Party, was a small party. They weren't even in all the states. Whenever Abraham Lincoln won, the Whig Party was over. They disbanded and they flooded the Republican Party. And we keep hearing these patriotic talks about how the Republican Party, this is not the Republican Party, it's the Whig Party. The Whig Party that the King of England couldn't beat us in a war, so he sent a political party over here to take us back politically. This is who we're dealing with the Republican Party. That's all I got to say. I'm going to hang up and keep listening. But great show.
Thank you. Thank you, Gunslinger. You want to give us a closing thoughts here, Gunslinger? Because they're going to be cutting us off, actually.
Well, you know, just closing thoughts. Yeah, just closing thoughts there. It's just you're going to have to look at it either way. You know, if these people are not going to give up, they're not going to give up. They're not going to say, yeah, we're right. We was wrong all these years, and we're just going to step away. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen like that. It's not going to happen like that. But, you know, they're not angels, evil bastards, and evil has to be taken out with the force.
Somebody's got some background noise.
Yeah, I hear background noise.
Somebody's got some background noise.
Not me. I keep hearing an echo from Gunslinger. I'm hearing his voice echo.
Yeah.
Yeah, Blog Talk probably about ready to cut you off, but it usually happens about that time. Anyway,
yeah,
it's just going to have to be something because they're not going to go easy. Okay, they're not going to go easy because if they would go easy, we wouldn't be sitting here having this conversation because everything would be picture perfect today. But it's not. So they're not going to give it up. They're not going to give up that power. You know, power corrupts. You know how much power corrupts. And they're not going to leave their lavish lifestyles that they have and all the money that they've stolen from the people and all this stuff because they're too evil. That's what evil people do, you know, until somebody comes along and gives them the 10-story Texas boot. These boots were made for walking. You know what I mean? They even made a song about it. Go ahead.
Sally, any last words there?
Okay, well, it's not going to be easy, but then, the first revolution I don't think was exactly easy either, and I compare Trump to Washington quite frequently. Look how many times Washington got shot and he was never taken down. How many times Trump has been shot at one way or another, and he's still standing. So I'm going to continue to try to save this country. The first Revolutionary War wasn't a piece of cake either. And so I think you have to make a decision. Either you're going to surrender or you're going to fight. I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to keep fighting. I'm not going to give up yet. But I do know 2024 is going to be a very rough year. And if the American people don't have the will to defend their country, then we'll be gone. It's pretty much that simple. But as I always say, I love my country. It's my government I'm afraid of. And please, everybody, say a prayer for this country and for the world. We really need it.
For me.
Thank you.
And for me. And promote your show, Sally.
Oh, yes, don't forget, Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, American Statesman, Blog Talk Radio. Make sure you tune in. Hopefully we're going to have an in-depth discussion about our Constitution and about elections. But I guarantee you it'll be an interesting discussion no matter what. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you so much, everybody. God bless our republic.
What if the American people woke up and understood that the official reasons for going to war are almost always based on lies and promoted by war propaganda in order to serve special interests? What if we as a nation came to realize that the quest for empire eventually destroys all great nations? What if the American people learned the truth?
The FBI has foiled about 17 plots to kill Americans during the past 10 years. What it will not tell you is that there have been 20 foiled plots, and of them, 3 were interrupted by members of the public. The 17 that were interrupted by the feds were created by the feds. Why do we pay the government to trick us into believing it is keeping us safe? What if a government that manipulated us could be fired? What if a government that lacked the true and knowing consent of the governed could be dismissed? What if it were possible to have a real game changer? What if we need a Ron Paul to preserve and protect our freedoms from the government? What if we can make elections matter again? What if you could love your country but hate what the government has done to it? What if sometimes to love your country you had to alter or abolish the government? What if Jefferson was right? What if that government is best which governs least? What if I'm right? What if the government is wrong? What if it is dangerous to be right when the government is wrong? What if it is better to perish fighting for freedom than to live as a slave? What if freedom's greatest hour of danger is now?
It's critical that every citizen of this country rise up and do something, because the day of reckoning is at hand and time is running out.
Unless we do something, we're going to get the government that we deserve.
How did you let this happen? Wake up out there. It's your children. Don't you care? Look what these people are doing to you.
There are 200 million adults in this country. Why we are letting them get away with what they are, why we're not marching in the streets.
Do everything in your power to restore freedom and your individuality back to America. Stop being a country run by the institutions for the institutions. Let's go back to we the people, by the people, for the people.
We have to stop being scared. We have to stand up and do what's necessary to take back, to stop these bankers, these elite, this government full of lies, congressmen full of liars.
And the Federal Reserve. And the fractional banking system. And the Fed. Elect Ron Paul. And the war.
People should not be afraid of their governments. Governments should be afraid of their people.
Don't give yourselves to brutes. Men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, and what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men with machine minds and machine hearts. You, the people, have the power. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful. Let us fight to free the world, to do away with greed, with hate and intolerance. Let us fight for a world of reason,
God bless everybody. Take care.